Hi guys, some people are asking the question, is the nasty party back? My question is, did it ever go away? So Rishi Sunak, in an attempt to appeal to voters who look down on anyone who isn't doing as well as they are, the Prime Minister issued a statement where he'll deliver extra pain to those who are already in a desperate situation. He talked about doing better. The Tory leader has absolutely no understanding of the nature of work and instead wants to use the stick approach as the way to go. This is beyond cruel. And to make matters worse, he wants to remove the possibility of GPs signing off people who are sick. Have a listen to this.
I want to set out today 5 conservative reforms for a new welfare settlement for Britain. First, we must be more ambitious in assessing people's potential for work. Right now, the gateway to ill health benefits is writing too many off, leaving them on the wrong type of support and with no expectation of trying to find a job with all the advantages that brings. In 2011, 20% of those doing a work capability assessment were deemed unfit to work. But the latest figure now stands at 65%. That's wrong. People are not 3 times sicker than they were a decade ago. And the world of work has changed dramatically. Now, of course, those with serious, debilitating conditions should never be expected to work. But if you have a low-level mobility issue, your employer could make reasonable adjustments, perhaps including adaptations to enable you to work from home. And if you're feeling anxious or depressed, then of course you should get the support and treatment you need to manage your condition. But that doesn't mean we should assume you can't engage in work. That's not going to help you. And it's not fair on everyone else either. So we're going to tighten up the work capability assessment such that hundreds of thousands of benefit recipients with less severe conditions will now be expected to engage in the world of work and be supported to do so.
My goodness, this charlatan. Talking about fairness. I mentioned this before. I warned about this some years ago. What they're going to do is they're going to try and force people who are on benefits into jobs, even whether they can do those jobs or not. And now it seems what he's going to do is he's going to take away the possibility for GPs to assess people. So you're going to have somebody down the job centre who's under pressure to meet some sort of target. They're going to make the assessment. Now, this person obviously is not a GP. They're not medically trained, but they will be deciding whether people go into jobs or not. There's so much to unpack here. He mentioned 20% were unfit for work in 2011, and now it's 65%. And he said three times as many people are not sick. No mention of the NHS waiting list, Rishi Sunak. There are so many people on the waiting list who want to work, but they can't because they're waiting to get treatment. They're waiting for a doctor's appointment. They're waiting for some sort of operation. And they can't work because they're still waiting for that operation or that intervention. Until they have that, then they can get back into the job market. So they are blocked. Why are they blocked? Because the NHS waiting list has gone through the roof. Why has it gone through the roof? Because the Tories have not provided enough funding for the NHS. They have imposed things like Brexit, which have resulted in the NHS being short of workers, the care sector being short of workers, and then the NHS trying to deal with people who should be in the care sector, moved into care, but they can't because they're stuck in hospitals. And all the other problems. So Tory austerity and the waiting list is resulting in so many people not working. And Rishi Sunak's response to this is, well, what we'll do is we'll force people into jobs. And how we're going to do that? Where we're going to take away their ability to use a GP to assess them. This is beyond cruel. I mentioned this before. This is about forcing people into jobs because, well, we need to bring down the numbers on benefits. Why? Well, it's ideological, I think. The Tories and the people who support them, along with those who donate to the Conservative Party, hate the idea of taxpayer money going to help people who are vulnerable, people who can't work, or also people who are working but not earning enough to get by. No mention here of long COVID, no mention of the NHS waiting list, because that's part of the problem. If you bring down the waiting list, people will be able to get back into work. Now, there's also another problem that doesn't get mentioned a lot. Somebody could have a minor problem, minor health issue. But if they have to wait months and maybe even years for treatment, that issue will get worse. And while if they had been treated early, if the waiting list had not been so long, it's possible that they could get back into work very quickly. But if they have to wait years or months or years for treatment, it's possible that that person will never be able to work because the health issue becomes too grave. So this is, once again, Rishi Sunak reaching out to the worst type of voters, trying to convince the donors, maybe, don't worry, we're going to punish the poorest in society and let you guys off the hook. And it's all wrapped up in this idea of fairness. And you're going to hear a lot about this. It's unfair that people are paying taxes and others are not working. It's the opposite of the social safety net. The Tories have never been a fan of the social safety net. They want to tear it down. And I think this is their last attempt just before they leave office. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.